27 waiting. But we are live.
We are?
Yep,
There we are.
we are live. I think I need to scoot over just a
Woot. Yeah, I think we need to.
Sorry.
I think you
No, I
scooted
went the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. We'll figure this out eventually. I think we've done it enough. That's better.
Highly doubtful. It's really bright today.
Is that better or do I need to keep going?
Yeah, I think you're good.
Okay.
Sign on.
Let's move your glass. Sorry, everybody.
All right.
How's everybody doing?
Got a bunch of things going on. So,
We're never satisfied.
yeah.
Never satisfied.
That's what she said.
And there it is. Two-handed beast. What's up, two-handed beast?
We will unfortunately not be glossing over the Bills' loss.
I don't care, unfortunately. I'm not a
Sorry
Chiefs
about
fan.
that. Yeah, he's not a Chiefs fan. It was a good game. I would have been incredibly disappointed if the Chiefs would have lost because we're in Chiefs territory. But I mean, the Bills are a good team, and they just play hard and they do it the right way. So it's hard to
bag on him for that.
Yeah, it's hard to not feel bad for him on that. Or I mean, we would have seen great football out of it. Whichever team won that was going to roll over. Well, they might not roll over Cincinnati, but I don't think that they're going to. The Bills and Chiefs are a better team. They're just better teams.
I really think they're going to give them a better shot than you think.
Yeah.
Considering they've already beat the Chiefs once.
Yeah.
But it is hard to beat a team
twice. We were pretty bad early in the season.
So we'll see.
And we're not substantially better, but we're.
Remember, I argue everything because I'm too short.
Yeah.
Because I just can't say. Well, I have to read it again. Sorry. That one got me going.
Yeah,
good.
Whoever won the coin toss.
Yeah.
That was just, as soon as we won the coin toss, I'm like, well, hopefully this goes well.
I actually did not watch the end of it. I know, razz me for it, but I was watching my buddy, so.
Yeah.
Had to watch my buddy bowl.
All right.
Wish it would have ended up a better way, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Rocky was up.
All right, so we're going to talk all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all have had your fill of Phase 4 videos, since there's a bunch of them out there now, and I haven't had time to put anything else together. I had fully intended on having my Phase 4 versus Spectre and Phase 4 versus Zen videos up by now, but we just haven't had time to do anything.
Have you filmed them yet?
That's all. Yeah, the filming's already done. I just have to write. I've got one written. I've got to put the videos together.
Yeah.
But I just haven't had a free second to do it.
All good, man. We understand.
So we went and filmed on Monday night for something totally unrelated.
Yeah.
That I can't talk about.
Ooh. I know what it is then. Oh, crap. It's not Sunday. What's up, my brothers?
Yeah.
What's up, man? Pulling over football. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Got some interesting topics here. What you want to start with tonight?
Let's get the face. Well, let's actually do our. So we started this thing. Well, let's get all the announcements and stuff. We have a breakdown pair Facebook group now. It's not a page.
Yes.
It's a group. So you can get in there and post, and you can interact. We've already had a bunch of people in there talking about a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good group. So if you want to get in there and talk with everybody, then join. It's just the breakdown pair, and there's a few questions to get in, but we're just trying to filter out trolls, bots, whatever else.
The questions to get in are it's just who is the host of the show and what's your favorite pair or favorite part of the breakdown pair.
Yeah.
So, and we're pretty new. We've only got about 160 members right now, but it's already active at 160 members. If just find us, it is the Breakdown Pair
Evening
YouTube
Jess.
show is what it is. So, Breakdown Pair YouTube show. I don't know. Is it in the description?
Yeah, we got everything in the No, I don't have a link to it, but I did put the Facebook group in there. I also have a TikTok account now, so I don't know how to work the TikToks yet. But
what in the world
I have discovered emotional damage.
I was actually doing some, when I was with Motive, I was doing some TikTok stuff, but my favorite one was the one I did with the Pride video with the "In the Jungle, the Mighty."
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, I'm getting into the TikToks and figuring that out. So I got a few things up. It's Luke Rosedall 300.
And we're still on Instagram.
Derp.
We're still on Instagram, so hang out with us in both places. But the group, I think, will be a fun thing. Get in there, chat. If you got questions, you can reach out to us, and you can post stuff in there too. So.
Yeah, we need to put our. I forgot to share both weeks now. Forgot to share my Cool Wick post in there. So we're doing this thing now that we call the Cool Wick Cool Pick of the Week. They've got a million designs on the website, and that's one of the things that really drew me to it. Everybody's got some cool looking designs.
Oh, yeah.
But you can tell there's some companies that have more kind of stock, just bland kind of stock designs. And Cool Wick's got all kinds of, they got cool stuff, they got kind of plain, more professional stuff, they have fun stuff, they have all kinds of stuff that's really sharp and bright. And
sweatpants, hats, t-shirts,
yeah,
jackets,
they got all kinds of
hoodies.
stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're going every week we're going to each of us on our Facebook pages are going to pick out a stock design that we like, and we're going to feature it on our Facebook page and the group, which I forgot to do today, but we're just getting that rolling.
I forgot to post it in the group today too. Sue me. I did rubber duckies today.
Yeah,
can't go wrong with rubber
hexagram
duckies.
Design.
Love me some rubber duckies.
And of course, Rosedall 10 or PHAZE 10 gets you 10% off your purchases on the entire site. If you buy anything on Cool Wick, you just put our code in at checkout, and you get your 10% off. So
correct. Not only that, it's 10% off your entire order.
Yeah.
So, and it's not a first-time purchase. You can do it every time you check out at coolwick.com.
Yeah.
So, and what are we drinking here? Oh, what am I drinking?
Yeah, I'm plugging a lot of stuff up there. So I'm pre-gaming with some Shiner Sea Salt and Lime, which is kind of like Bud Light Lime,
it is actually,
but it's a lot better than that nasty junk.
Because I'm drinking, what is this, the Highland Scottish Ale?
Emotional damage. Yeah, this is the Scottish, the Rating the Highlands Scottish Red Import. They call it an import. He makes it there, but Luis, what's up? Lewis, whatever you're calling yourself, P-Pop a Diddy Pop. I'm sorry, I don't really know what you're calling yourself these days.
P-Pop a Diddy Pop.
Yeah. Remember that Ben Stiller commercial with Mr. Daddy?
Oh, gosh. But yeah, this is actually pretty good. Yeah, it's dark, but Scottish ale. It's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Hello, Joe.
Kind of hard.
In case we have... Oh, so Joe reminded us. This ball cup that she got us for Christmas. She got me one of these, and she got Jonathan a turbo one. They have a website on the back of here, but it's not at the website. So you've got to find them on Facebook at 303 Creation. So if you want, and you can get, you just send them in whatever logo, picture, whatever else, and it gets put on the ball cup here.
It's pretty cool.
You'll find them on Facebook at 303 Creations. And it has a website on there.
Website's not active anymore.
Yeah, the website is gone. So Facebook.
The Facebooks.
Yeah.
The Facebooks.
The Book of Faces.
Exactly. Facebook.
All right.
Like the other guys.
Yeah, I'm also going to pop something else up on the screen. We're going to do something else during the show.
Yep.
We're going to do a turbo grip tip. Since the rhyming thing, we're both
turbo grip tip, yeah.
On with turbo. Now, there's a lot of things. Most of the time, people think when they think of a grips company, they think grip slugs, interchangeables, some tape, whatever else. But
Correct.
Turbo has a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
Really big fan of the rocks. Of course, that's made by Rock Tape, but they do supply. They supply rock sauce, which I think is a lot better than
icy hot.
Icy
I
hot or
agree.
whatever else. Just short of like the professional strength or the prescription strength biofreeze or something like that.
And it's pretty good stuff. I mean, it just comes in a little ball. You can roll it on your elbow, shoulder, knees, whatever. It comes in blue and red. The red, of course, is heat, and the blue is, of course, ice. So, my favorite is at one time Turbo had Red Sox rock tape. They don't have it anymore, but I can still get my hands on it. Grip sacks, wrist supports. I actually wear the Turbo wrist support. It's just your typical, looks like a master type wrist support. If anybody that's worn those in the past or still currently wears one.
Other cool stuff.
Speaking of Turbo, I'd really like to find a sampler pack of each of their thumb tapes without having to buy a pack of each. Genesis does that, and Vice does that for the thumbhole tapes. Thought we did something like that, but I thought we sold a sample pack.
Oh, a sampler pack
Of each, of the thumb tapes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Most of the time you just got to buy a pack of.
Yeah, Genesis definitely does it, because when I was on with Genesis, they were. We tried it out. I see them with thumb tapes I wanted to go with. But
I think I'll talk about this tonight.
What are we going to talk about tonight?
Strike wipes.
Oh, yeah, good stuff.
There's a lot of companies that have their own versions of this, but it's basically, for the end of the night, if you don't like carrying a bottle of cleaner, because most of the time it leaks out or whatever else, if you want to clean your stuff off at the end of the night and you don't want to worry about a bottle of cleaner, open it up, or whatever in your bag, you just carry these. It's resealable. It's got cleaner. It's kind of like a Clorox wipe. For your stuff.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, and they
very, very cautiously avoiding.
I believe, like, if you can, and I'm trying to think of how many balls you can use it on, but I know if you throw in 6 balls, it'll still clean all 6.
Oh yeah, it depends on how dirty the thing gets, but you might even be able to, depending on how dirty the ball is, you can even wipe the ball down and then stick the cloth back in the bag.
Yeah, actually.
You don't have to just get rid of it. You can stick it back in the bag and save it for next time too. So these are pretty freaking cool. My wife carries around a bottle of cleaner that manages not to explode.
I keep a bottle cleaner around too.
But these are pretty quick and easy for just at the bowling center, wipe the ball down.
I think it would be easier for traveling for like airlines.
Yeah, it'd be a whole lot easier for traveling too, because most of the time if you got a chamois in your bag or something, you don't want to get cleaner all over that and get that wet, or some people carry a towel to wipe it down with, and then a towel to dry them with, and then the bottle of cleaner, and then whatever else. And these can slide in the zipper side of a tournament triple or something, so you can just drop them in there, and it's just quick and easy and simple, and
the good stuff.
So those are
not biased at all.
Yeah.
I promise
hashtag driven to bowl.
Exactly. Hashtag driven to bowl.
But yeah, they got all kinds of stuff. If you've never been to their website.
What were you saying?
Yeah, driven to bowl, yeah.
Sorry.
And they got all kinds of apparel. They got bags. I really like their bags. Angel uses their...
What? I'm sorry.
I don't want to spoil this and show everything off, but they've got some of the sharpest looking bags out
I use this tour accessory case. If you have interchangeable thumbs, switch grips, this is the bag to go with. It gives you the most room for all of your accessories, and it has 3 slots for you to have as many thumbs you want. I'm sure if you're using interchangeable thumbs, I wouldn't doubt that you just have one, or would doubt that you have just one. More than likely you have 3 or 4. If you're like me, I have 8.
Yeah. I'm a really big fan of these bags. They're pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and I personally use some of the Turbo bags too.
So.
And my wife uses the backpack.
Yeah, Angel used to have one of the backpacks. We've since gotten a bigger one. But those backpacks, again, are easy to carry on.
Very easy to carry. Very easy to carry.
So.
There you have it.
All right.
Here you go. I still cannot figure out what flavor those clear gummy grips are.
Shameless plugs aside. Yeah. I don't know, lemon. I'm pretty sure.
It's mystery.
Yeah.
It's
Such a thing.
it's torn fingers.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I like the clear grips. They don't really work so much for him, so he's going to go back to the black ones.
Yep. Going back to the black ones is just something I'm comfortable with. I've used pretty much a long time, and I used to like the clears, but maybe I got a bad batch. So it's all good.
All right.
Hey, miso.
So let me.
Joe, we'll get into that stuff.
Yep.
We're headed that way. We had to get our shameless plugs out of the way. Thank you to Turbo and Coolwick. And Storm.
Yeah.
Not the dog.
Emu oil? Oh yeah. Heckin' emu oil.
Gotta drive out on the road. I have a question, you know. Okay, sounds good.
What's wrong with emu oil?
My wife's family swears by emu oil. I apply. Everybody won't let her touch emu oil.
Heck yeah.
Am I weird that I don't even know what that is?
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I have no clue.
Emu oil.
Give us
is
Jackal
amazing.
urethane and he sends us whatever.
Yeah.
We have a new option. Yeah, not sure if that's gonna happen.
I promise I'm not driving while I'm listening to this.
Yeah, ill pad. All right, what do you want to start out with? You want to start with the phase 4? You want to
Yeah,
go?
I can. There was some
PBA?
questions back up here. I have the phase 3. Will there be any overlap with the phase 4? Can the phase 4 be in the same bag? Yeah, if you watch my review on it, I got pretty in depth on the phase 3, phase 4 comparison. I don't think there's a little bit of overlap because they got the same core and they're both shiny, but the phase 3 is stronger everything over the phase 4. So I don't see any direct overlap at all.
So, what are your overall thoughts?
I hate it. Angel, it doesn't. She prefers the Spectre. The phase 4 looks really, really good for her, but she prefers the Spectre because it doesn't. She doesn't have to fight it so hard to get it down the lane. That's the problem with it, is that core wants to wind up so fast, and that cover's so flippy that if you're standing straight, it wants to just go. But as soon as you get in there, if you move in a little bit, well, the cover's not strong enough to get much traction, so you can go from through the nose to flat 10s pretty quick. And the Spectre, Luis put up a video today. No, it was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
The phase 4 versus the Spectre, and we have the same kind of thoughts. He could kind of play all over the place with the Spectre, and the phase 4 needs a little bit more specific set of circumstances to use it. So
Now, I really enjoyed your phase 4 video. You were able to show a lot of different things with surface changes and what it looked like with the surface changes out of the box, and on all of that. You just went OG on them.
yeah.
Just straight OG.
Yeah, that's why I don't have any comparison videos, because I spent a solid week on that stupid video.
Phase 4 looks so over under to me. Yeah, it probably needs a little bit of surface, I would
It
think.
either needs surface, or there's a few. The same crowd that the Zen Master is really good for is the crowd that the phase 4 is going to be good for, which two-handers. If you're two-handed, you can bang on it and it's going to roll and rev, but it's not, that covers medium strength, and so it's still going to get down the lane, and it's going to punch, but it's not going to be crazy. So the Zen Master phase 4 combination could be ridiculous for two-handers. So I think the bigger rev rate crowd are the ones that are going to like the phase 4 the most, because they can bang on it without bang on it and get it to roll without it overreacting or reacting too soon. It's one of those Code Black type of situations. It's not that strong.
Yeah.
Almost not quite astrophysics, because that's got a little bit more torque. But it's one of those situations of a bigger ball that's not going to be crazy strong. So I think the high rev crowd's really going to like the phase 4. It was just too over under for me, because the core is a lot stronger than the cover is, and so I can get it to rev but can't get it down the lane from straighter, and then I get in a little bit, and like I said, the cover just doesn't pick up soon enough, and so even with surface on it, I still just angle issues for days. And the phase 3 stuff, like the phase 3 and the Zen and whatever else, they have a stronger cover. There's more balance between the cover and the core.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of trying to work the angles because of two dissimilar things.
How much surface? I can't remember. How much did you end up getting to? Was it 1,000?
No, I went 3,000 first, just knocked the shine off of it. That made it worse. Definitely didn't make it any better. And then I put 2,000 on it, and then I just couldn't. I just couldn't get it down the lane, and as soon as I could get it down the lane, then it just died.
John, how was your
I'm-
Zen? Or have you not thrown it yet? I've thrown it. I do like it.
You think the Black Widow pink urethane will axe the UC3? No. Because nobody cares about Brunswick. Or Hammer or whatever it is. I don't know. But no, I mean, no, it's going to sell. It's definitely going to sell. It looks sexy, and it's a Black Widow, and we didn't get the pink. We didn't get the Black Widow purple. So now I'm thinking the new purple Hammer cover, which this has on it, is stronger than the original purple Hammer cover. And
so all in all, it'll be pretty good.
This one might be, I don't know. This one might be too much.
It's
we'll
gonna
see.
be.
I'm sure it'll steal some of the UC3's thunder, but the UC3 was there first, and it's already got a bunch of buzz. Sold a bunch of them. They keep popping up on my Bowler Smart report, so they're getting traction. People are liking them, and they're getting a lot of traction.
Once balls start getting that buzz and push and talk behind them. I mean,
it's kind of like a Zen. Once a Zen got out there and established, there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to come along. Like the Phase 4 is all anybody wants to talk about right now, but they're not going to stop selling the Zen. I mean, those are all over the place. I can't remember the last time I saw a bowling ball back. Aside from back like 20 years ago when we didn't have this saturation of stuff on the market. It was a whole lot easier for something like a 3D offset, which is back again, by the way. But there's something like a 3D offset that just dominates. You see it on, again, 20 years ago, it was everywhere.
We literally can, you just take Thursday nights, for example, you can see a Zen or two on every rack. One night, actually it was last week, we had 3 on the rack.
Yeah. And there's at least 1 or 2 on every rack that you can see throughout the whole frickin' building. So,
it's good. It pops a lot more down lane than I expected.
So it's probably one of those things where the pink urethane is gonna make some noise, but the UC3 is already kind of established. There's enough of a buzz now that I don't think it's gonna hurt it. Just like the Phase 4 is not gonna hurt the Zen.
It'll be fine.
So
it'll be fine. Well, is the Phase 4 is it symmetric?
Yeah,
it is symmetric. Okay.
Yep.
I read 3D Hammer was really good. Yeah, I had a 3D Hammer, actually. It was my first reactive ball. 3D offset, and I am pretty pumped. Whether I drill it or not.
That's great.
It is going to stay. It's definitely going to come to my house.
Yeah, thanks everybody for the Phase 4 video compliments. It was a lot of work.
It's pretty good.
It's hopefully that gets me some more traction. It was the right video to do it with because it was already going to get me a bunch of extra eyeballs on it, and then seeing that, hopefully that can kind of push me back into the spotlight a little bit, I guess.
Somebody had a Zen question real quick. It just went away. What type of bowler does the Zen fit the best? Since we were talking about it real quick.
Everybody,
there you have it.
Yeah.
There's a winner. Good evening.
Luke's Fever Nightmare. SPI decides to start doing mashups, and Luke is forced to use a Phase 4 Zen Master exclusively in a 1-ball tournament.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Midnight Bowler Society?
Yeah, that'd be rough.
What type? Yeah. Remark, I don't know if you heard him. He said everybody.
Say what?
I don't want to see the bar tab.
Yeah.
The bar tab.
Spectre just seems like a better ball than Phase 4 in general. It's more
Spectre
versatile, definitely.
Yeah, Spectre
better is always going to be relative. You're going to have some people out there, they're going to hate the Spectre and love the Phase 4. It's going to happen. But the Spectre, I mean, just in watching Luis's video is exactly my experience with it too. He could kind of play all over the place, but he kind of had to wait for a specific set of circumstances for the Phase 4 to start, coming into its wheelhouse. But the Spectre looked good on the fresh, on the burn, whatever he wanted to do with it, wherever he wanted to throw it.
Yeah.
It's a shame that they put those releases right on top of each other because I think the Spectre deserves a lot more attention than it had stolen from it.
Yeah, that's the sad part, but gotta get them out there.
Yeah. Have you heard any two-handers' opinions about differences with the new Storm 2LS system? Yeah, it's the system that needs to be used, basically, because the one thing that they don't take into account is that, when you drill fingers and then a thumb, using our growler here, in the side of the core, you drill fingers in, you drill a thumb in. Well, if you just have the 2 fingers, they need to go kind of on the mid. These are all 3 fingers, but then just removing the thumb and still drilling the fingers up here doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So pin up layouts are in effect pin down layouts for two-handers, because you're taking the weight out near the top of the core. So when you have, say this is the pin up here, if you go pin down, well, you're taking weight out of the core here, you're also taking weight out of the core here, so it's kind of equalized right in the middle. Well, when you just have the two fingers, if you've got the two fingers that are in a traditional pin down, it's super, super pinned down because you're taking the weight right out of the top of the core. So you're really raising the RG and you're knocking that differential in the dirt. And so basically they're splitting the difference, since, the fingers are about equal to the thumb, everything equalizes in the middle. So the idea behind that is kind of drilling, if you're just drilling two fingers, you kind of need to drill the two fingers in the middle to balance and make everything work out. And so they look weird, and it's hard to explain sometimes to the more traditional crew who just thinks, okay, well, if I'm going pin up, I'm going to put my fingers here whether I'm drilling a thumb or not. It doesn't work that way. You need to drill the fingers in the center of where they would be for a full three-fingered grip for everything to equalize and balance out. And so that's really the idea behind it. And so, yeah, people are finding out that they're getting a whole lot better ball reaction now that they're going to 2LS, because it's been adjusted to make sense for their game.
Right.
Helios or UC3 to add to the arsenal for nationals. I have a hard time with the Helios because it's too clean and too sharp for how much it hooks. And there's a lot of people that I watch, especially on the right side, that don't say, oh, it's really smooth. Mine is not smooth. Mine goes 40 feet and turns sideways, even with surface on it. And everything boings on the left side anyway, so it's just... the UC3 would definitely be a good add for nationals. You might not get to use it on team, but you'll definitely get to use it on doubles and singles.
There you go.
So...
we caught up on questions while we're at it.
Yeah, we're... How long before... Oh, I'm a two-hander, but my ball rolls over the finger holes going down the lane. How can I increase axis tilt? You're probably letting go of it a little too late, I would say. So I would say try to tuck your... just watch videos of Belmo. He does it so perfect that you want to... A lot of two-handers I watched, they go to get rid of it, and then they let go of it too late, and so they kind of... Instead of getting under it and inside of it and, rolling it like that, they kind of come around it. So yeah. It's instead of spinning, like most one-handers, it's got negative tilt. So there's so many two-handers with negative tilt because they let go of the ball so late instead of putting it down, getting it into the lane early.
And kind of rolling it.
And keeping their hand, keeping everything inside of it.
Yep.
So I think it's probably just get some video yourself and watch what you're doing, and watch Belmo and just copy Belmo.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah, there's that too. Copy Belmo.
Yeah. How long before B7 has to DQ the Pink Widow urethane for not meeting hardness specs? I would have to say that because the hardness specs are going to discontinue the Purple Hammer in June or July or whenever those new hardness specs are coming out, they would have had to have gone ahead and adjusted this. So I bet the hardness, you're going to see an adjusted number on the hardness when that ball releases.
Oh, yeah. Glad I've got one of the new ones. Everybody talks about the new ones, but the new ones, they're starting to have issues with the new ones, as we talked about earlier.
Well, no, I don't know what you call first with the UC3. I'm saying that the UC3 was released first, so it was first to the market. They've had ASIM urethane, yeah, the Black Widow and the Phantom and all that stuff, but this is different stuff. This isn't the Black Widow urethane. This isn't the hot cell. This UC3 is totally different. It's a whole lot more back end than any of those ever had. But I'm
pops.
saying that because it came out first, because it came out before the Pink Widow urethane, it's already established. It's already got its traction. It's already got its audience. If they came out at the same time, then it's a different story.
Yeah, it's a different story. But it's still gaining steam. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, UC3 looks pretty good. I personally don't have one, but I don't throw a ton of urethane anyways, and I don't know if I absolutely need one. So.
Yeah. I watched the entire Storm 2LS video for Pro Shops, and Luke just explained the system better in 20 seconds using a beer cup. that's just it took me a while to get VLS down until I kind of realized that they're just using it's just simple concepts help you understand the bigger picture, and they did go really in depth, but and people have reminded me of this too. It's like, man, you got so much info in your videos that my eyes kind of glaze over, and you got ball going, and then you're talking a million miles an hour, and it's just too much. And so that's why videos, or channels like Darren Tangs and JR Pro Shop and Luis, they throw the ball and then they put it in simple terms, and they throw the ball and put it in simple terms, and I'm doing frickin' geometry and trigonometry and all kinds of nonsense.
It's because you have the voice of an angel. You remind me of a mixture
Yeah.
between Fergie and Jesus.
Yeah.
It's from a movie, Step Brothers, for those who are out
My
there.
humps.
Thank you, Fergie.
Yeah.
I had to do the Step Brothers touch there. Anyway, we're already starting to get our Sean Rash comments in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been seeing them in here.
That's what everybody wants to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Here we go. In all seriousness, the one part of 2LS that still doesn't make immediate sense to me is it appears to get a lot of pins either on or past the valve. So does dual angle not really work for two-handers? It does, but a lot of two-handers have positive axis points that are over and down. So that's why you see a lot of, it looks really weird to have, to have the fingers here and then have the pin way off over here, but it's because they track like that. So their positive axis point, like somebody I was talking to the other day, theirs was 5 over and 2 down. Usually one-handed, you're a half up, 1 up, 1.5 up. Those are kind of normal numbers, and so that's what puts the valve, or that was what puts the pin in a more normal location.
Makes sense.
But if your pin's right here, but your track is right here, then that you still have a couple inches between it. But if your pin's way off over here, but your track is doing that off your fingers here, then you still only got that couple inch distance between your. And that's really the whole point of it depends on where your track goes.
Yeah.
Some of it has to do with, some people have weird axis points, but some of it has to do with the way that the core is rotating, but a lot more of it has to do with what you're doing to the, what you're doing, how you're reshaping the core, whether the weight's coming out of the side of the core or whether it's coming out of the top of the core. So it does. Yeah, so 5 over and 2 down. That's a really that's the one that they used in the Storm video to demonstrate, because that's a pretty common axis point, and so it does really puts their, especially when the pin is 3, 4, 5 inches above the fingers to begin with, so that looks weird to begin with. But then the pin's all the way off over here somewhere. It just looks weird, and I think once people get used to it, it makes sense. But yeah.
Now the TV is a bowling ball.
Mm-hmm.
So your thumb's gonna go on the beer. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
Sorry, no thumb.
Yeah.
Your finger's gonna go right here at the beer glass.
Mm-hmm.
Disregard. This stuff goes over my head. I just listen and nod and say, "Yep, sounds good." All right. Should we get into some PBA stuff?
Yeah, everybody wants to talk about the.
Let's talk a little PBA here.
So weird on one-handed, but that was straight logic. Heck yes, it was.
Straight spit and fire.
Touch on the difference between strong cover, weak core, and weak cover, strong core, and why one might choose either. That's a tough one. Sometimes, so for the weak covers and strong cores, most of the time it's when you want the ball to still roll. It's kind of like using an IQ or a Venom Shock or something, because the Venom Shock has a really low RG.
Right.
It wants to rev and roll really early, but it's still got kind of a medium strength cover, so it's going to roll and rev, but it's not going to hook a bunch. So it's still going to get you down the lane and get you into the pocket. With weaker cores, that's when most of the time somebody that really bangs on it, they don't need something that helps rev something up. So that's
Yeah.
why they normally use either weaker cores or weaker covers.
Correct.
To give them some kind of, either the core is helping them get down the lane before the ball really starts winding up and taking off, or they're using some of the bigger core for stability, but the cover is weaker, so it still, pushes down the lane.
Right.
Now, the use case scenarios for those is all over the place, and it's a whole lot more than I can get into right now, but it's kind of the difference, like you had the High Road Max versus like a High Road Pearl. So the High Road Max gets traction, but without really winding up and starting to hook. So it gives you stability out of the cover without really, turning and wanting to take off, period. Whereas the High Road Pearl, the cover and the core kind of work together on really dry, transition lanes or whatever, to help you get to push the ball reaction closer to the pins if things are too early. Generally, stronger covers give you more stability.
Right.
They give you more predictability. They give you more blend. So that's probably the biggest thing, is that stronger covers give you more blend than weaker covers do. Because weaker covers are more friction dependent. So they're going to really fly on the dry, and they're going to skate in the oil. If you have a stronger cover, it's going to get more traction in the oil, but it's going to be smoother, not quite as responsive off the dry, because you're not really changing the relationship between the cover and the lane. If it's already getting some traction, then a little bit of extra friction is not going to make it go a whole lot more nuts. But if you have something that's hydroplaning and then all of a sudden hits hard dry, it's go.
Right. Right.
So there's two different types of stability, but generally the stronger cover, if you have a stronger cover on a stronger core, like an Altered Reality or something, it's going to get dig and it's going to wind up and
It's going to do a
go.
combination of both.
So
Yeah.
anyway, let's talk
Should
about
we-
the Sean Rash thing.
Should we do that? Should we bring up the wrist brace thing?
Yeah, let's cover the wrist brace thing, and we'll draw this out even longer. And
Yeah. Let's the wrist devices. So, you want me to start with my thoughts?
yeah, go for it, since I've been talking.
You're good. So my thoughts on the wrist devices ban on the PBA is cool. It's fine. Nobody's really using them anyways on the PBA tour, national tour, that is. I understand why it was a ban. Unless it's the PBA 50 tour for injury for older guys, it should be banned across the whole PBA.
That's
in my
a different
opinion.
story.
Because I honestly personally think any professional level sport shouldn't be using devices like that anyways.
Yeah.
So professional bowling, for example, don't at me, but I don't think the PWBA should be wearing them.
Yeah.
It does help. You can probably explain that a little more. It does help.
Well, the problem is that there's a difference between braces and supports and physical aids.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between, wearing a brace and taking steroids or something.
I mean, they have dials on them that you can sit here and
you can
automatically lock your hand in.
Yeah, you can lock your hand in a certain place. You can crank them down.
Yeah, it shouldn't be used. And once again, I know that 90% of the PWBA tour uses them. They shouldn't be using them either. That's just my opinion. Don't at me on it. The PBA tour, I think it's the right move. I think it's kind of silly that they even had to go there because nobody uses them. The regional tour, I think if they're going to ban it on the national tour, they need to do it on the regional tour. Wouldn't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're still following PBA rules. Now, the PBA 50 and 60 tour, I completely understand. Because a lot of those guys are older, and they do aid for medical purposes, I guess. But I don't know. Well, what are your thoughts?
It's the whole support versus now. Joe in Discord mentioned it's like, using it. His wife uses it for a training tool.
Then that's fine.
To kind of show her how she should be holding the ball or how she should be throwing it or whatever else. But then she takes it off and then gets a whole lot better. I think it's one of those things where it becomes kind of like a crutch, where if you use it for some extra support, well, it actually is going to decrease your strength because you don't need any strength, because it already cocks your wrist in a locked position, so you don't need any. All you have to do is follow through. You don't have to do anything.
Correct.
So there's a difference between a support and a mechanical aid, which is really what it is.
Yeah.
It forces them to throw. Oh, the bowler show's in the house.
Oh,
Woot.
Waz. The problem is Liz Johnson uses a brace. Well, she won't be bowling on the PBA National Tour. Sorry.
Well, and that's the thing is so that's
Or learn to not use
actually
it.
a really good point because there's a lot of the women that bowl against the men. You know, Danielle McEwen doesn't use one, so no problems for her. Kelly Kulick doesn't use one.
Julia Bond doesn't use one.
Yeah, Julia Bond, and that's the thing is that, you know, EJ Tackett's what 5'6", 5'7", 130 pounds, and he's got a 500 some odd red
Not
rate.
that much bigger than me.
Yeah,
It really is.
he's not very big at all, and so the whole strength thing. Yeah, I think he just dropped down to 15, but he was
15,
throwing
yeah.
16 additionally.
Norm
And
Duke's
he
throwing
uses
16.
Norm Duke's throwing 16.
Yeah.
Missy Parkin.
Yeah, Missy Parkin. She uses
She was a glove.
a glove.
It's just a grip glove is all it is.
Yeah, it's a glove. I have no problems with, and that's what they didn't ban.
It doesn't have the wrist support too? Does she have that full one?
Yeah,
but
she's
if it
just
did-
got the one
well,
that's just the
yeah, it's
strict
got well,
glove.
it's got some of them have the wrist support and then are just the gloves. Some of them have actually that metal plate in the back of it.
Yeah, hers, because the way she holds it, she's bendy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
not
true.
that one that has the metal in it, but I just don't remember if it has that wrist support at the end on hers or if it's just the glove.
Yeah, Shannon O'Keefe putting out a video about the wrist devices is a bad
Yeah.
look.
Oh yeah, I can just click it like this, or I can click it like this, and I can do different things.
She
So that-
100% just told you why the PBA just banned it.
Yeah, and I've got nothing against Shannon O'Keefe at all.
Oh, no, but she, as much as she works out, I'm sorry, she should not
I
be
don't
needing
think.
one.
Yeah, I don't think that she needs one. I think that it's one of those things they get into when the women get in college, and they just kind of put them onto them because it helps. It helps strength and power and whatever else. But at the same time, I think they get dependent on it, and then they don't know how to.
Yeah.
And again, Verity Crawley's not very big, like you said. Julia Bond's not very big, so it's not a. I don't think it's a strength thing. I'm a frickin' snap me like a chicken.
Like, ah!
Yeah, and I don't.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
I'm just here so I can find. Oh, now we're into chicken talk.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know.
Chimkins.
I 100% do not think that they should be used in any professional PWBA or PBA tour, and I also think they should be gone on the PBA regional tour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you guys may chat in the comments here or in the
Yeah,
chat. What do you guys
so-
think of
They're
my?
great training tools like Luke was talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, great training tools.
Yeah.
But-
Angel's saying that they're great training tools.
But
And
as far as
I agree on
any
that.
Competition, I would take them away through all competition, period.
Oh, yeah.
across the board.
Yeah, I'd say that.
There you go, Waz. They need to be banned from
Yeah,
tour
there's a
KCs.
difference. Yeah. There's a difference again between
See,
a
that's
glove.
the-
Yeah, a glove. Fine with a wrist support,
Yeah.
elbow support. I mean, you can walk in there looking like a baseball player getting ready to step in the box. But again, none of that stuff is mechanical aid. It's protection and support. It's
Yeah.
not mechanically aiding them or improving them.
Angel and I
in,
both
in
wear
any way.
a wrist.
The wrist, the little turbo wristers.
Yeah, looks just like the Master one that Master made for every. It's just turbo. You can get yours at turbogrips.com. Hashtag driven to bowl.
driven to bowl.
There we go. Deet the pants.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it's we knew that was going to come up, so we figured we'd touch on it. But I think we're both on the same page on that.
Yeah, we're on.
It was just a silly time to do it because it really didn't make sense because nobody on the national tour wears them. But I think the PBA was taking the time to go ahead and just get out in front of it and just say, all right, we're going to ban it.
Yeah.
And let's see how long it takes for the PWBA tour to fall suit. Because I can see it coming. And then when they do, those girls are going to be up in arms.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Dasha. Dasha wears one. I mean, I'm not going to name names because 90% of them wear them.
Yeah.
Taylor Bailey.
But yeah, there's
anybody
no,
that comes from McKendree.
the one. Yeah. The ones that don't wear them are, it's anywhere from a Liz Culkin or Jordan Richard or something to
Julia Bond.
and
Who's little.
Verity again that.
Daria.
Yeah.
Daria doesn't even wear one.
Yeah, Daria doesn't wear
I
one.
could just see them all switching.
Diana
to
doesn't
the
wear one.
supports.
Yeah, and that's the thing is I have again no problem, no issue with the supports at all because there's a lot of people that need the support. They don't need the
No, as I say, some of the
bionic
women
mechanical
aren't
arm.
just constantly working out and doing everything, that's not their forte. So they possibly need some of that support when they get into like the 30 game type deals. They probably don't need a 50.
Yeah, Angel just saying that when they bowl longer formats, they're definitely going to need some support. They may not need the. Again, we're totally against the aids. You know, the aids are the giving you more than you've got, really.
Didn't they rule it as metal in it? Wasn't that the
Yeah,
defining-
well, I think the
It's
metal
something that cups
the metal
red-
devices
oh,
that actually provokes or controls a change that's nothing that you're doing physically.
Yes, Clara Guerrero's another one that wears one.
Yeah.
Well, she took hers off last year, and
I did
last time I
notice that.
saw her on whatever promo show that they had over the summer, she had put it back on. But she actually was on a few television shows last year where she didn't have it on at all, and I thought she threw it better. But all right.
Oh, this is pretty good. Haas, those girls are going to be up in arms. No pun intended, huh? Maybe they should
Yeah.
brace themselves for the change, too.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. No, and I saw a comment somewhere about the whole thing, and I don't remember what post it was on. I want to say when Jeff Riggles posted it and shared it, and somebody said, the PBA did this so that the women won't bowl the men's tour anymore. And I said, that's the biggest crock I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I think that they would. Yeah, they're not trying to block the women out. I think that it actually is a pretty big deal for them when the women bowl and
yeah.
do well.
I mean, if they really wanted to block them, they'd just say men only.
Well, the two women's teams on the PBA league worked out really well. It went over really well.
People weren't happy about it. They're not coming back.
Yeah. So.
But I think they only did it for them that 1 year because they didn't have a tour that year.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. All right, let's talk some PBA. Let's get some PBA talk here.
Yeah, let's talk about everybody wants to talk about the Sean Rash thing.
Should we get out in front of that and talk about that now?
Maybe share what other people have said.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to go to first is that Beef and Barnsey had a show earlier today where they had the information, kind of the behind-the-scenes information, where they said that basically what happened is that everybody bowled in their region to get to the top 5 to whatever. Once they got to
there it is.
Bork, Ilpad, we got to stop. Ilpad with $20 donation. Thanks, man.
J. Haas versus EJ in an arm wrestling match. My money is on Haas. He's a scrapper.
Yeah, he's got them.
Got them guns, baby.
Yeah.
There we go. Now I kind of want a big papa pump it for this fan wrestling. Hercules. Ilpad, thank you. But yeah, anyway, sorry. But yes, the Beef and Barnsey show did have a show. We had to stop for that.
Yeah, so the Beef and Barnsey show today explained the behind the scenes, what actually happened with that. So what actually happened with that is that once everybody got to Texas for the final shows on TV, they were supposed to bring all the equipment that they used in those regional qualifiers to have tested before they bowled the tournaments, the hardness, because they've had some problems with hardness, specifically with the Purple Hammer.
Which is their new rule going forward for TV finalists.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, everything, they've already implemented that on the PBA. The USBC is doing it in June, July, August 1st or something this year.
Yep.
They're changing the hardness spec. So they went ahead and did it on the PBA Tour right now because they have had a problem with it. Well, what happened is that they started trying to do the testing, but they couldn't get the balls warm enough, the temperature, or they couldn't get the device warm enough or something like that. There was
Conditions weren't feasible.
yeah, there was things didn't really work out, so they were having some problems getting accurate results. Well, by the time they got it figured out and called some experts and got everything worked out,
it was showtime.
It was too close to tournament time. Yeah, it was too close to showtime to start messing with everybody's equipment. So they just decided that they were going to go on ahead. Even if they did get the testing equipment to work, they were just going to let everybody use whatever they were going to use. They weren't going to, even if they failed, they weren't going to ban anything. Well, I think eventually some of the Purple Hammers failed. And then they used them to success on the TV shows. And Sean thought that Matt Russo had beaten him. Well, Tommy Jones did not use the Purple Hammer on the telecast, but he used it pretty well exclusively
during
to
the week.
run over his.
Oh, he just went
run over his region.
Absolutely nuts. I mean,
Just
he was
absolutely
like plus
destroyed
800
everybody.
or something like that.
Then Graham Fa won pretty easily.
He threw a purple hammer, I want to say, on one the left lane and a black widow urethane on the right lane. I'm pretty sure. But I mean, the guys that were throwing, the only one that made the purple hammer look bad during the entire week's shows was Potreff.
Yeah. Well, and that just Wesley Lowe looked awful. The left, the other Jerry Kessler, made a comment. He's like, yeah, the left looked really bad on the final show on Monday night. The left side just looked awful. Whereas before,
every other night,
Russo almost ran. He should have run the ladder. He went, 5 spare, 5-1 the last 2 frames, and was kind of, he had make a really good. He should have picked up the second one.
He chopped it though.
And
I still was like, oh my god.
Yeah, taking that right out of the middle, and like Beef and Barnesy were saying, oh my god, he choked on that. It's like, no, he was literally a half inch from making it.
And if you look too, it looked like he lost his footing a little bit too.
Yeah, if the ball hooks just a half inch more,
yeah,
it clips the pin right where it needs to clip it. It was almost, if you go back and watch, it was almost an identical shot to the one that he threw the previous frame on the other lane to pick up the exact same split.
And I'm still not convinced that Sean's comments wrestled him. I think he was still pretty locked in. I think he just made a bad shot.
Yeah, and it might have been Matt
might not even realize what he was talking about.
Yeah, he might not have had any kind of a clue. Probably because it's a bigger, more well-known, and that's why, Stu and Chris brought it up on the show, is that, yeah, everybody, it's no secret. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows Sean's been pretty vocal about it. He's on the players committee. So everybody knows. I'm pretty sure everybody knows what he was talking about, but Matt's a pretty nice guy. Yeah. He's a pretty soft-spoken, really nice guy, so I'm not sure it really rattled him. At that level, when you have so many people bowling, even if you're a nice guy, I mean, I'm a nice guy too, but when somebody tries to game me, it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to get up there and make, you can say whatever you want to say.
You can say what you want to say. It's just going to motivate me.
I'm going to get up and make the shot baby.
It's kind of like Trevor. If you piss him off, he's only going to get better.
Well, it's one of those things that how much better, how much fun would it be for somebody to Sean didn't really struggle, but he couldn't really put anything together. Matt was cruising until the last couple frames, and then what better outcome to have somebody make a comment about integrity and then get up there and just stuff 3 right back and walk,
yep,
going to the show.
So here's my thing, and you guys can call me crazy, but to me, I think Sean's on house money now, and he might be a handful this weekend.
He might.
He might be a handful. He's on house money. So
well, but he's also going to get it from the other side because you've got Fa on the show who's going to throw urethane.
I think if Fa's able to throw the stuff he threw the last weekend, he's going to be hard to beat. He's been bowling so well.
You've got Belmo on the show, which there's nobody that plays head games like him.
Well, Sean and him, between how those two like each other.
Well, and
please tell me those two are bowling each other on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the thing is, so Belmo's on the show, Graham Fa's on the show,
Tommy Jones. It is
Tommy
a great
Jones
show.
Is on the show, and
So you guys are going to be live streaming the women while you're watching.
Yeah, you can't
the
tell
PBA
me that everybody
7:30.
on that show is not going to be using urethane, specifically gunning for Sean. But he's going to eat it up too. It's one of those things where you make your
feisty,
bed.
Man.
He's okay with. If he makes his bed, he's okay with laying in it. He's okay. It's like,
he said he didn't give an S.
It didn't work out, so whatever.
He even said in his interview, he goes, "I said what I said. It is what it is, and I'm going to lose some money over it, but we move on." So.
Well, and Rick Benoit posted something. Rick Benoit.
Yeah.
Knows Sean.
Rick Benoit knows Sean really well, and if you're friends with Rick Benoit, you saw his post where he was talking about Sean always wears his, it was like Ryan Siminelli. He's complained about the lane, says the lane guy hates lefties and whatever. It's the same type of deal. They're just going to say what they feel that they have to say, and the way that Rick put it is like, Sean feels like what he has to say is more important than, not saying it or staying quiet or whatever. Even if it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, even if it puts him in hot water, he feels like it's more important to say what he has to say.
Sometimes I wonder if he feels straight up like, if I don't say this right now, nothing's ever going to be done about it. And he feels like that's the best place to make it happen because it's going to make people talk. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
there's a time and a place for it, and if you
Yeah, I mean, was it wrong to do it? Yeah, it was wrong to say it right then and there. But at the same time, it's got us all talking about it. You know, that's all anybody's wanted to talk about the last couple of days.
How many of us have had our own conversations
Yeah.
off the lanes? He just said something out loud in front of camera on a hot mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the
And
first time
that's-
he's cussed on TV.
But that's the thing is he knows he knew what he was doing.
I mean-
he said it loudly. He wanted to be heard. The problem was that he thought the game was over because all Russo had to do
Was get
was
9.
keep the ball in the lane.
He just had to get 9 in 2 balls.
Yeah,
He
and he did.
Sean, remember Sean said F on TV
Yeah.
but when they bowled that deal against
Yeah.
Belmont, where he says, "You want to F with everybody?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
have some fun."
After saying,
Take that, you bottled.
yeah,
Take that, you bottled B. Yeah, so Sean's had his issues, so I think it all kind of came to a head. But he's a great player, though. I'm sorry.
yeah.
We all can have our own opinions on it.
They acknowledged that he was a half an inch from picking the spare up. Yeah, the viewers, he just choked, plain and simple.
Nah, he
It's
didn't choke.
No.
He made a bad shot on the
Terrible
first
take.
shot,
Terrible
and then he flat out missed it. I mean, he didn't flat out miss it, but I thought the best part of it was chopping the 4
Yeah.
off of it. But
Yeah, Russo throws it really good.
You had Sean Rash on the 30 clean. He was great.
Well, and that's what I'm going to say. I like Sean. I thought that he was kind of a hothead earlier, and I wasn't necessarily his biggest fan when he came out on tour to begin with, because I kind of like the act like you've been there before type of, I prefer kind of the Don Barretts and the Francois, and I'm not big on the getting all pumped up and yelling and screaming and
are you saying you don't like AJ Johnson?
Yeah.
My favorite was when AJ
Come on,
Johnson,
baby, let's go. And
AJ Johnson
Brad
goes, he's I'm back, baby, and Barnes says, "You're back. I'm still here."
Yeah. Yeah.
Emmanuel, no, he actually said it during a team event thing on the PBA where he actually said both words, and it was directed at Belmo. It was the Bottled B show.
Yeah, you just have to search it on.
You can go search it for yourself. And Pete Weber dropping it was obviously drunk
Yeah.
on TV.
Yeah, drunk and did it intentionally. And then it's like, that's one of those things. Interviewing Pete I'll have to ask Mr. Bowler's show about it. I'm sure it's one of those things where when you're going to interview Pete Weber, it's either going to be the best interview you've ever done or the last interview you'll ever do because they'll take you off the air.
I don't remember who it was. It was like, whoa, sorry
Yeah.
for the language. And
We've got to go to a commercial.
is Sean Rest the new PDW? No. They're two totally different.
Yeah,
people.
they're different.
And I like Sean.
But no, Sean's such. I mean, he's a really good dude. He came on my show and he was all cool with everything, and I fumbled and stuttered and said some dumb stuff all the way through it, and he was still cool about it. And I'm sure he'd be back if I asked him to come. Probably right now. I don't think he wants to take any interviews right now. But I'm sure he'd be back on it if I reached out to him to say something. He'd send me something back. So he's a cool guy. He's just intense, and it's hard for some people to understand.
When
And
you're bowling for your income, I mean,
yeah, and what and I'm not saying that I'm not trying to excuse anything, or I mean, what some of the stuff he does is just going to rub people the wrong way. Some people they're just not going to like that. They're not going to like the Siminelli stuff, or they're not going to like somebody for some reason.
You know what? It's everybody's going to have their own opinion, not like somebody for something like you said. But at the same time, sometimes you got to put yourselves in their shoes and the circumstances and the situation. Was it the right thing to do? Nah, probably not. And I'm not going to say probably. It was not the right thing to do. But at the same time, I don't know. It's hard because I wasn't there. So, I mean, yeah, we all saw it on TV, but I don't know. But on the side note of everything, we had a lot of really good shows this weekend. We had some lefties run the table on a few. Like Matt Russo almost did.
Yeah.
Tommy Jones, I kind of felt bad for Normie, but
Yeah.
Tommy Jones.
Tommy just ran all over everybody. He ran all over his region and then shot 270.
Oh, my first when he was the first guy to be able to throw 2 balls, the same ball on each lane, or on both lanes, I was like, oh, this is kind of strange.
Yeah.
And he made that ghost look pretty good. Shout out to Brad and Kyle.
Yeah.
That was a really cool moment for those two to be able to bowl each other on TV. Kind of sucks that the game wasn't as close, or it was close, but it wasn't a bigger scoring than it was. But it's all good. It was kind of confused me too, and this is not to harsh on the Storm reps, but I definitely think Brad needed something cleaner on that left lane. Absolutely need something cleaner.
Yeah, the problem with that left lane is that going with something cleaner all of a sudden is you're going to shoot through the break point. But that's the problem with those longer kind of medium volume patterns, is that when the heads start to go, you're going to have oil. You already got a long pattern. Then it's going to push down a little bit. Then you have early friction. So you've got to find a way to get the ball through the heads, but then to slow down and actually react on the back end. And so it's a tricky.
But he bowled. So he went from a, what was he throwing?
He was throwing a Nova at first.
He's throwing a Nova, and then he went into a Zen Master. He even came back. He goes, "I need something cleaner." Brad did.
That's what I was going to say.
And then they have him go into a Zen Master. I'm like, what are you?
He said, the second or third time he threw the Nova, he's like, yeah, his ball's just burning up. And then he goes to the Zen Master. I'm like, oh my God, the Nova's burning up. So you went to a Zen Master, but they're there and I'm not. And so the Zen Master was going to be earlier, but not quite as much torque. So it's going to be blendier, and it did look okay on a couple of shots he threw. But it was just too much cover.
If you had any ball, what do you think you would have
So,
put in
oh
his
my
hands?
God, if you question new KC tournaments rule, if you question us or say the S word, you'll be paired with Tom Patton and John Scott for 3 tournaments.
Oh gosh.
I can think of some worse ones. To be
I
paired
could think
with.
of some worse ones to be paired with. Actually, yeah, we're on the.
Who shall remain nameless.
Yes, Belmo went from reality to Zen Master. We're talking.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys were talking about the same person, but we're talking about Brad right now. I probably would have went Spectre or something like that in his hands over there.
Yeah, I think that would look really good because it's still a strong enough cover, but a whole lot cleaner core. You know, how a core that gets down the lane further, so that the Spectre's got traction while still being somewhat clean, and a core that gets you down the lane. So yeah, I think something like that.
You can all tell me I'm wrong, but if he gets into something like that, I think he wins that match.
Yeah,
I really do. Not to knock Kyle,
he picks
but
up a 10-pin.
wasn't Quintero the same guy on the USA World Telecast calling out former President Trump? Yes, he was. Yes, he did. Yes, that was
Who was that?
Quintero.
Oh,
He called out President Trump.
I didn't hear that.
Really? Oh, we can pull that up on TV.
That's all right. What's the TLDW about Ryan Siminelli? He made some comments on a podcast a few years ago before he retired for the first time, basically accusing the lane guy on the PBA of hating lefties and trying to go out of their way to block them out. But it's just life on the left. You're going to be blocked out a lot, especially on tougher patterns. You're going to be blocked out a lot more than you're going to have a look.
And all the different bowling centers you're in.
And again, that's the one thing. That's why the Purple Hammer has been such a big deal for the lefties, is because it finally was kind of an equalizer. Because otherwise, using reactive stuff on the left side is tough. I would never, ever, ever, hardly if ever use urethane on the right, because there's so much track friction that you've got early urethane, then you've got friction in the mids, and so it's not really the look very often on the right side. On the left side, we don't have any track. And
Unless
so
we're on a shorter pattern, though.
Yeah, but on the left side, urethane goes longer and shapes more. So it actually, like I said, my IQ Tour doesn't look on the left side like it does for righties. Like I can get it down, I can bend my IQ on the left side because it doesn't start up so early because there's no track. So everything goes longer and is sharper. So the smoother stuff generally looks better on the left side of the lane. And when you have something like a Purple Hammer that both, gets traction and then a little bit of punch, it kind of elevates it a little bit. And, lefties are used to hitting a smaller target. That's why Trevor, you give him a couple boards.
With the Purple Hammer?
And
he's just going to absolutely demolish you.
Yeah, because he's going to hit it over and over and over again. Righties, it's more important how you roll the ball on the right side of the lane, because you normally have a few boards to play with, and not on the tough stuff, but on the tough stuff, it's going to open up.
Yeah.
If you play them right, they're going to open up.
Yeah.
So if they do suck to begin with, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, I'll just wait, just keep out of trouble for the first couple games, and then see what I can do when they open up. On the left side, there's no any of that. It's, well, crap, this sucks. I'd better figure something out.
Yeah.
But again, you see what happened with the urethane. When they have a look and a couple boards to play with, they're just going to run over everybody.
Oh, 100%.
So it's...
how do you feel? Where was it? Hang on, there was a good question in here. There was one of, what about Hammer's haters gonna hate picture? It was, we all know who that was directed to.
Yep. And
it was no different than Motive and Radical going back and forth about the.
Let people take their shots. It's fun. It's good for business.
It's good for business, yeah. How do you guys feel about the grip gloves that like Quintero used? I don't have a problem with it. It's just literally, it's just, I don't know. Does his have the? I don't know if his had the bump on it for the sport.
No.
I think it was just a flat glove.
Yeah, just a glove.
I mean, it's just got tack on it. I mean, I can do that with rosin on my hands, but.
So I wonder on those braces that they, because you can take the metal out. So if they take the metal out, will they allow it?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that. I thought it was funny when both announcers basically said that Cortez Shank's mom was hot.
They did say that, yeah.
I didn't see that.
As of this year, what balls we consider in the nut category? That's a good question. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. While he's thinking about that, I do have a question for everybody. What is everybody's favorite show over the weekend? What was, out of all the shows, all the way through Monday, which one was the best?
And what are your predictions for?
Yeah, what are our predictions? Yeah,
we've got TJ, we've got Quintero, we got Belmo,
Sean Rash,
and Graham Fa.
I think Graham Fall is going to be tougher to beat than you guys all think.
Yeah, no, I think well, and the way that they do this too is I think last year they bowled a couple games for the seeding.
I think they'll either bowl Saturday morning for it, or they'll bowl Friday night.
Yeah, they bowl a few games for the seeding, so
Yes.
that because obviously they have 5 different winners, they can't really just kind of you had the higher score, so you're gonna they're gonna have some seeding matches, and so we don't know where everybody's going to end up position wise on the show yet.
4 games and then totals. Put them where they were in 4 games. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's going to be a sweet show. Yes, it is.
Graham Fa is going to be really tough to beat. Graham Fa and TJ, I think, are the front runners, but Belmo is just throwing it he threw it so ridiculously good that.
Yeah, last year was 3 games, total pounds, only 2 repair. Yep, because they did it on flow. That's right. Just a 5-man shootout. West region.
Yeah, it depends on. And then, I mean, everybody's there because they bowled well, so it's hard to just pick one person out of especially for the ones that just bowled the one game. So, yeah, Graham Fa and
only reason why I said
TJ got on there and just...
Big reason I've said Fall.
Finished it.
Because we talked about this a little before the show. Graham Fall going into the region, or the Players Invitational, the Players Championship, the RPI, the Regional Players Invitational, he was money, and I think that was his first major tournament since making the jump from Motive to Brunswick. And granted, of course, he's been able to do purples, but I don't know, he's just making shots, man. Will Belmo have a great year? Yes, I think Belmo's going to have a great year. I would honestly like to see Tommy Jones take it too.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, is that they're talking about Arturo Quintero, who they were talking about. Tim Mack says he's the most clutch guy that he's ever seen. Like, he shot 300. They were talking about it on the show.
Something about he's won cars.
Yeah. He's won cars by shooting 300s. He won a bar of gold. Tim Mack was backing him in a tournament, and he won and got a bar of gold.
Well, then why is he bowling on tour?
2.2 pounds. Yeah, they said it's worth something. Yeah, 2.2 pounds of gold that's worth something like $350,000 right now. Or something.
And he's won luxury cars.
Yeah, cars and all kinds of stuff. And so he says, Quintero's one of they say, he hasn't bowled many shows on the PBA. It's like, he's bowled big stuff all over the world, so this is nothing different. This is,
he also bowled the USA versus the World show, and that was the Trump one.
Yeah.
That somebody mentioned.
And so that's why he just came out and got things done and didn't seem to be ruffled. Yeah, but they build them different overseas too. I've always favored the mentality of the overseas players.
Oh, yeah. They're ready
more
to go.
Because they seem so much more mature. Like, everybody over here is angry for some reason. They're angry. They're out to prove something. They're either way too excitable, or they're just emotions all over the place. And the overseas players are kind of like, act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
So
Quintero on his very first show, the USA versus the World, though.
Yeah.
He did wear sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is Fall converted righty? I don't know. That's a good question. Or he believes. But I don't know. So who's your pick? Belmo?
The seeding is going to play into it fairly heavily. I think, like somebody else, if Fog gets the top seed, I think it's significantly hard. Even if you're bowling well, it's just harder to win when you have to run the ladder. Some people say, okay, well, you get some practice in, you get comfortable, you get a few games under you, but yeah, you end up bowling 3, 4, 5 games on TV over 2 hours, and then going through all the condition changes. It's hard to survive transition that long, which is not FAZE. Huh? Well, yeah, I know. He did, and then Russo almost ran the ladder. But I think
all the 5 seats got close.
Yeah, well, much. And Fa is going to be by himself. He's the only lefty on the.
That's what makes it dangerous. I don't care what spot he's in.
So again, that's the other big thing is if he's got a look. I don't think it matters what seed he's in.
I do think it will be harder for this show to run the ladder like they were going to in the regional shows, just because of the players that are in this one. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard for anybody who's in the 3, 4. The 4, 5 position mainly.
Here's a good question. Who looked the worst over the weekend? Do you really want me to answer this? If you do, I feel like a jerk. It was Wesley Lowe.
Emotional damage.
Wesley Lowe looked very bad. But it's okay. I didn't think he made very good shots the entire show.
Somebody else, I didn't watch that show, but somebody else said that he just stayed in that ball too. He was trying to throw that new blue tank.
He was trying to throw the blue tank, and he just kept throwing and throwing. I'm like, you need to get in something like a flare.
Stayed in it for too long. But that when you have such a short amount of time, especially with having the dual patterns too, because you only get a few shots. So by the time this didn't work out, so we're going to make an adjustment. Well, that didn't work out. We're making another adjustment. Well, that didn't work out. Well, then you're most of the way through the game already. And it's hard to sometimes you have those games, too, where you just can't get anything going. It's like those league games where you shoot 190 or 2-0, hitting the pocket to death the whole time, and you're making adjustments the whole time, but it's just, well, this one on the right one, and this one on the right one, or that was a good shot, but I got a wrap 10, or I got just unlucky on one. And it's one of those things where sometimes everything just kind of, flies in your face or piles up against you, and there's not a whole lot. So when they got one match on TV and they try a few different things and it just doesn't quite work out.
I mean, you don't have a lot of time. So.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Dom Barrett also looked rough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Dom did not look good at all.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Dom Barrett, it had to be a close one to Wesley Lowe.
Kyle Troop didn't look that good.
What did you think of Wesley, Dick Allen's face on? Actually, Wesley was wearing that shirt on tour last year. So he's just wearing it for the first time. They've actually he actually got that at the beginning of last year.
The entire, that's what Rob Stone was talking about. It's like we've seen more missed easy spares.
I will say something. I watched EJ Tackett actually play the lane this weekend instead of trying to just do this number.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually played the lane. I was shocked.
Instead of just trying to slow hook it?
Yes. He literally, he impressed me. I thought when I saw him doing that, I honestly thought, holy crap, EJ's going to be hard to beat.
You've seen the promo for the Mythic Jackal, right?
Yeah.
Where he's playing fifth arrow, but the ball never gets right of 14.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of a promo is that when you show somebody playing the hard shim and never giving the ball a chance to have any kind of reaction at all? It just kind of goes down the lane and is, right in front of the head pin. It kind of tips in. I'm like, what kind of a promo is that? That's not going to get anybody excited for anything.
I personally would rather see Nick Parr do the videos.
Yeah, or somebody that, everybody gets mad at the Storm videos where Chad's always peeling the ball off the one board no matter what it is.
Yeah, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, but that actually shows you more of the ball reaction than that stupid Mythic Jackal promo where the ball, like I said, never made it right at 14. It just kind of got out there and then eased in.
Yeah, EJ's the worst for that. He's the worst guy to have do that.
Well, yeah, but they showed they should have had more shots. You can't tell me that they set all that up and then just
they're going to do a full video on it.
Yeah, so you can't tell me that they couldn't have picked a better shot.
I don't know what happened with Nick Parr doing them. Now all of a sudden, all the last couple of releases, it's been different guys. I've had Smallwood doing it.
I don't know.
There was one I was gonna. Totally lost train of thought. I was gonna say there. It was a good one too, but
people don't understand advertising anymore.
No, they don't. It's
just so out of touch.
Gosh, what was I gonna say? And it was a good point. It was something about, I don't know. Brett Spangler's mustache was epic, though.
Yeah, it
was
always
pretty
is.
good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Spangs, for that. I know you're not going to watch this, but there you are. That was
Did
pretty
you think
epic.
of Wesley's jersey with Dick Allen's face on it? That had to be hilarious.
Did you not hear me talking about that? He actually had that all year last year.
Yeah.
It was after the last year's player show. It got made the week after. So they literally had it made for him in a week. And he was wearing it like the next week. So it's a bet that Motive does. So like if you make the show, if you have two guys make the show or whatever, the highest finishing player gets the design one for the lowest finishing player.
Oh, yeah.
So last year, of course, it was Dick, and he
no.
designed. He got to design any jersey he wanted, and of course he has to put
great.
his face on it. So
Yeah.
Spangler looked like Freddie Mercury. Yeah, he looked like Freddie Mercury.
That meme.
Oh, that's pretty good. Smallwood did the Odyssey. Yeah, Smallwood did the
Yeah.
Odyssey. Well, Smallwood wasn't the only one that did the Odyssey. I believe EJ and AJ did it as well. So I'm not really sure why Nick Parr's not doing them anymore, but I don't know. It was a good weekend. Should we talk a little football here?
Yeah, that's what I was actually just going to say. That we got about 10 minutes left. We're going to try to keep these to like hour and a half shows so that we just don't ramble on. You get on here and ramble and
Some of us have to work
draw
tomorrow.
things out too long. I got a million balls to go plug up there too. So
Rewatchability for
Yeah, rewatchability for
yeah,
others too.
so
if they don't
yeah,
wanna
let's
see
spend a
it.
few minutes. Let's have a little fun and finish off some drinks here and
Talk a
finish
little
off-
football.
Yeah,
that's fine.
polish off there should be just enough. To,
What's everybody's thoughts on
Top, yeah.
games coming up this weekend? I mean,
Yeah, so
Kinda-
the Chiefs game was an instant classic. They're gonna be showing that one. That's one of the best playoff games NFL history ever. Period.
not even just playoff games.
Yeah.
Just games
It's
in
one of the
general.
best games.
Foosball is the
Ever.
devil.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to say it.
Yeah, I felt really bad for Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
Really bad for Josh Allen because he didn't get a chance.
No.
He picked the wrong. He picked heads and he should have picked tails.
I mean, you
That
got to
was-
do what you got to do. Bengals and Rams, man, Dom, I hope so.
Yeah. No,
I know there's some Chiefs fans in here that are gonna hate me, but
No,
like
y'all
Waz
can,
and Tobias.
y'all can roast me next. To be fair, I haven't seen a whole lot of Cincinnati.
As long as Santa Clara loses, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, and that's the other thing too is that the even with the Chiefs ending up winning by 6 in overtime, it was still the lowest scoring. So it was 15 points was the difference in all combined in all 4 games over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, and that was the largest margin of victory was the Chiefs winning by 6, and the previous record had been 18. Now so they were all super close games.
Even the Brady game was nuts. How the Rams let the Bucks back into that game is.
Oh
just,
yeah, because they were obliterating them, and then of course
I could never hate John. I love you, Dave. Love you, Waz. Tell Gabby I said hi.
Yeah.
I'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, we'll bring her more chocolate milk.
Like the meme says, Josh Allen did everything he could on the field. He could have picked heads. Yeah, he could have picked heads. You're right. Sorry.
Yeah. Or the big thing, the Bills lost that, and there's a million other things. If Butker makes that field goal and the extra point, we're not even dealing with this.
No.
Earlier in the game. But at the same time, the announcers, I think it was Tony Romo, kept talking about it. It's like, with 13 seconds left and Buffalo kicking off, put it right down the middle, soak up some clock. Because if the Chiefs have 9 or 10 seconds to work with rather than 13, doesn't happen.
No, not at all.
Doesn't happen.
I'm sorry, but even 13 seconds is not enough.
13 seconds wasn't enough, and so
That is
I was
crazy.
up there working on stuff, and we were watching it back and forth, and then when the Chiefs scored with a minute left, I thought, oh well, that's over. They don't have enough. There's even though they have timeouts and whatever else, I thought, well, that's just not because they needed they didn't need a touch. Well, no, they did because the Chiefs were ahead, or the
Chiefs
Chiefs
had to
were
kick
ahead by 4.
Yeah.
They were ahead by 4, so a field goal wasn't going to do it. So
No.
Buffalo had to score a
Buffalo
touchdown.
scored a touchdown. Chiefs
had to
with
score-
13
yeah.
seconds left got a field goal.
They had to score a touchdown, and so I thought, well, a minute to get a field goal? Oh, yeah, I'd have been worried then, but I thought, gosh, there's a minute left. They're
Honestly,
and they have to get a touchdown.
If I'm Josh Allen sitting there on the bench with 13 seconds left, we're going to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah,
going to the AFC title.
Oh yeah, and that's what everybody thought. Everybody was hugging each other, and the Bills owner and whatever else, they were all hugging each other and whatever else, and everybody got excited, and then yeah, 13 seconds left. Yeah, I thought it was over. I mean, with a minute left, I thought it was over. And
After that emotional of a game, I don't think they're getting past Cincinnati. But if I have my honest opinion on what's really going to happen, I think it's going to be the Chiefs and the Rams in the Super Bowl, which would be a great game, by the way.
Which would be a great game.
But you got to think about what the Chiefs just came off of. It's going to be hard to carry that emotion over the next game.
I would think
That's
so,
nuts.
but at the same time, they might still have that buzz or that urgency. It might actually work against them.
Joey B is a G, man.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, they got to figure out what to do with Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase just absolutely made them look like high school football players.
They could be tired, but yeah, like Kit just said, Tyreek, they got so many, and now they have McKinnon.
Yeah.
That's showing up, and they got Mahomes that does all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then they got Kelsey, and then they got Hill, and they just have, and then
it's just ridiculous.
Oh God, they have so many people. I can't even think
Chiefs,
of them.
Byron Pringle, you got
Pringle, that's
Nicole
the one I was
Hardman, you've
thinking.
got
Yeah. So they've just got so many weapons, and I know that Cincinnati is good too, but it's going to come down to Cincinnati is going to have to play better defense.
Manuel, yeah, it did.
Because they're not.
They'll be fine.
If it's an offensive showdown, the Bengals are good, but I don't think they're Chiefs good on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
They're not going to outscore them. They're going to have to make the plays. The defense is going to have to make plays to shut Mahomes down. I think that's.
So Joe Burrow made a
Kelsey.
comment. I don't know when he made it, but it was made. It might have been earlier in the year, but it kind of got shared around. But he said that he thinks that SEC stadiums are louder than the NFL. And Chiefs fans, of course, up in arms. And remember, I was not a Chiefs fan, but I was a season ticket holder for like 12 years.
Yeah, so you've been.
I've been there. I was at the game with the world record broken. I'm sorry, but you go to the SEC stadiums, they seat 100,000 something people. He's probably 100% right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're sitting 76, 80,000 at Arrowhead, and the stadium's going to be acoustic bouncing, but you're at Death Valley on a Saturday night. You ain't getting louder than that. I'm sorry. Tell me that I don't know. But he's probably right. But Arrowhead is going to be the closest atmosphere you're going to get to an SEC.
That's another good point. The Bills should have gone for 2 and made Mahomes go 75 yards for the win instead of 40 for overtime.
Yeah, but see, the problem is they would have won the game right there.
Yeah, well, but again, with 13 seconds left, you get 2 and make them go for a touchdown. It's over. Because they got to where they got to, and they'd have had 40, 50 yards for a Hail Mary at the end of the game.
Yep.
But at the same time, then what happened if they didn't get the 2-point conversion, which with the way that their offense was going and the defenses were tired, that 2 points would have been a chip in, I think.
But if you look at the clock right there and you really think about it as a head coach, I think the head coach made the right call to make the kick.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's Patrick Mahomes, I don't care if it's Peyton Manning, I don't care if it's Tom Brady or if it's Joe Montana. I don't see him coming back in 13 seconds and getting a field goal out of that.
They say, isn't that what at home you play to tie, and on the road you go for the win?
Yeah, but it's a little different when you're in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, and that's what I thought.
Think about it, 13 seconds.
13 seconds left. Yeah, you're thinking, okay, if I go for 2 and miss it, and they somehow get a field goal out of this,
which they did.
At least you're guaranteeing yourself overtime or a chance or whatever else. If you take the extra point, you can't lose unless unless somebody goes like.
See, in that situation, you play not to lose.
Yeah.
But I mean, granted, they overall ended up losing.
The problem was not. The problem was on the kickoff, kicking it into the end zone. That was the bigger problem by a long shot.
We're not even giving the Rams and Bucks game even a train of thought here. That game was how the Rams let the Bucks back into that game, and we were actually at Bowling City, and we saw what they did. They started. You could see that the Rams were starting to play a little dumb, and I think it was a late hit or something like that, personal foul where you seen it get led back, where they got led back into the game. We're like, what are you doing? You're going to let them back into the game. And sure enough, they got back into it, and I don't know. Brady still got magic. I don't care what anybody says. I think he's coming back.
I think he is, too. I think he's still in good enough shape, and the team's good enough. And
oh, yeah,
I think it was just kind of they ran into And again, the Rams are kind of a Bills type of team too.
Oh.
There's a lot of those style of, like the Rams, the Bills, Cincy. They've all got really good, solid quarterbacks. They've got some dynamic offenses. They've got solid defenses, and they kind of
Cincinnati's gonna be so
they
good in a
just
few years.
play well. They're just solid. That's the thing, is they play at a high level, but they're also solid. They don't make a whole lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I think that's.
The Rams have set themselves up for failure so bad when it comes to they threw all their chips in this year. They're all in. I don't know if you've seen what their draft looks like, their draft capital for the next couple of years. It's not good.
Yeah.
No, Aaron Rodgers is not retiring. He's probably going to end up in Denver.
Yeah, he's going somewhere.
Hackett's going to end up as the Denver head coach, and he's going to be in Denver with Devontae Adams.
So, either way, I think that whatever team comes out of the AFC is going to win. I think the Rams would make the hardest case for whoever comes out of the AFC.
Oh, the Rams are just... I would like to see Stafford win a Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, I would too.
I would love to see Stafford win
I
a Super Bowl.
just think that the NFC teams are outclassed by the AFC teams. Right now.
Yeah. And in my opinion, the best matchup that you can possibly get coming out of the NFC is going to be... Adams isn't leaving Green Bay. He does want to leave. He's already said he wants to leave.
Yeah.
Especially if Hackett leaves. He actually was public yesterday said he wanted to leave. No, the Rams are going to be the best matchup for either team. If it's the Bengals-Rams, Rams win. If it's Chiefs-Rams, it's going to be such a good game.
Yeah.
It's going to be so good. Just because of how, just think about it. The Rams are so loaded. Look at all the talent they have.
Yeah. So, at least we'll have the Super Bowl will be a good game this year. It's not going to be some kind of nonsense like last year with, 13, 14 men on the field for the Buccaneers or whatever. I know that you were just chuckling.
Oh yeah, I chuckled. I'll chuckle. See this? It's not even talking about that device. It's more of they can tag him, but they're talking about a trade thing as well. Yeah. So it would be a package deal, several first-round picks. It's already been being discussed. If Hackett leaves, they both said they want to go. And Adams said he's even willing to sit. So Rams could get a home Super Bowl. Yep, and it'd be. I saw somebody post something about that the other day. They said this could be the first year that the Super Bowl team plays in their home stadium. Like, it literally just happened last year, bro.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers played at home last year in the Super Bowl. It's like, did you not? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't rub it in. I'm from Buffalo. Man, I wish Buffalo would have won the game.
So I'm thinking Chiefs over Cincy, 35-31.
35-31. Okay.
I think it's gonna be close, but I think we're gonna edge them again, or 38-31 or something. I'm sure there'll probably be a.
Grandmaster Yeti, do you think the blue tank will blue? Yes, it will shine up as fast as the purple. Just a guess though.
The Rams probably get to. That's probably a lower scoring, or not a low scoring game, but a lower scoring game. It's probably 28-31 to 21-24, something like that.
Oh, shoot, Tobias,
yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And I think, by the way, I think the Rams are going to blow them out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Hold us to whatever.
I think Stafford's
we might find some kind of an interesting thing for next week, depending on.
Yeah. I really think that Stafford, in his first opportunity to get his chance to punch his ticket, I think he's going to go nuts.
Well, I think it's going to be. I think Chiefs and Rams are going to win. So that's the Chiefs Bengals could be kind of a toss up, but I think the Rams. That's the one that I'm most solid on. I think the Rams are going to win.
Well, the Rams, yes. But I think that my buddy texted me the other day and he goes, Rams Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I'm like, yeah, I agree with that, but I think the Bengals are going to be better than you think they are.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But on the Bengals side, on the Chiefs side of things, for the Bengals, it's hard to beat a team twice because the Bengals have already beat them once.
Yeah.
Especially Kansas City, because if Andy Reid's seen you once, good luck getting him the second time.
Yeah, and that's really the thing, is because the Bills beat us earlier in the season too, and there was a bunch of really cool trick plays that he had. that worked out really well, and so yeah, I think he's gonna be ready to go. And I don't again, I think people are writing off the Bengals, but I don't.
Oh yeah, they're 100%.
That's going to be the closer, more interesting game.
They're writing off the Bengals after what happened Saturday night, and they're calling Patrick Mahomes the Grim Reaper, and they're doing this. I'm telling you, Cincinnati's going to walk into Arrowhead and smack him right in the mouth.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they
you know what? I like Andy Reid a lot. I mean, I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite coaches. I wanted him to win and be successful, and he's found the place. I tell you what, he could not have gone anywhere else and found the success that he's had right here.
Yeah.
And
Joe Burrow doesn't care, though.
Joe Burrow gives no F's.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I love about it. Have you seen him dancing in the locker room where he's doing this?
Yeah.
Sorry, I
He
can't
does
dance.
not care.
No. All right.
All right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and shut it off here. We are at 8 o'clock-ish.
Hope everybody enjoyed the show. That was a lot of fun
tonight. Beer. I've got stuff to do.
I need to go home.
Yeah. Storm Dog's even taking a nap.
Yeah, he's awake.
You tired in a Storm Dog?
We've had a lot of fun tonight, though. Hope everybody liked the show and the talk.
Yeah.
And
it was a good time.
we talked everything from 2OS to PBA to Sean Rash to wrist devices.
Yeah, it was probably one of the better shows that we've had. We did several different things, and
We need a drink or five.
Yeah.
Once again, follow us on our new Facebook group. It is the Breakdown Pair YouTube show. Come hang out with us, please, because we've already started getting quite a bit of interactions in there.
yeah,
Feel free to share stuff in there, ask questions.
Started a few days ago.
Yeah, we just started a few days ago, and it's growing.
150, 200 members, and
Yeah,
all
people
kinds
are-
of people talking all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's pretty active already, and I'm
We were
not
comments
necessarily surprised, but it's really active really early. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, and again, it's a group, so you can get in there and post. It's not like a fan page to follow.
Yep.
It's an interactive group.
And for those that follow Lou's page, Motive Lou, formerly known as Motive Lou, Lou Napolis, it's something similar like that. So, yes, Rocky, Wednesday nights now, 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
So
Wednesday nights now, I got a new job, so I am home full time. No more road traveling or whatever else. So, and Wednesday night's going to be the best night because even when we traveled for tournaments, we had to miss Sunday shows quite a bit. Sometimes 2 in a row, 3 in a row, whatever else. And so it was really hit and miss on Sundays.
Yeah, which is common.
Wednesdays is the safest day. Even if we go on vacation, we're not going to leave Wednesday early, and we're not going to get back Wednesday late. So
we would have missed this Sunday too.
Yeah.
We got a show in this
Sunday.
week instead. So, and if something
And
ever
then we'd
comes
have
up on a
missed-
Wednesday night, we
we'd
can
have
switch
missed
it
the
to
following
another
weekend because you're going to be in Hayes.
I'll be in
we
Hayes
would have missed
again.
the weekend after that because of Super Bowl doubles.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have missed if we were still on Sundays. We'd have missed the next 3 weekends in a row. So, yeah. We're also Jonathan and I, the KC tournaments, hosted by Mr. Bowler's show, Dave Waswo, Mike Adamski, Kim Waswo, assisted by Gabby Waswo. They're having a women's only tournament on Saturday, and so Jonathan and I, identifying as men, will be there.
Put on wigs, and we're gonna bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, we wouldn't have to have. I mean, we get obliterated probably anyway.
Follow the Instagram, and you would see what we're doing.
Yeah.
I've already been a woman once.
Yeah.
That was for Halloween.
Yeah. Can you make me a woman? Oh, honey, I'm so happy. This is Doubtfire.
Yes. No, I was. We were.
I don't think I
my Halloween costume. I was a female. So yeah.
Little Scotch tape and red hair dye.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, we're going to be live as of right now. We're going to be live streaming Saturday for the women's only tournament for the Tour of KC.
That starts at 1, I believe.
Yep,
doesn't it?
1 p.m. Central Time. You're going to get commentary from yours truly and Mr. Ginger himself,
Yeah.
the real Ginger Assassin, the real Ginger Assassin. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. But anyways, it's 6 games. We're going to get some commentary. My wife's bowling, Angel's bowling. We should have some fun. Luke and I's workout will be lifting a beer. So, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. We'll